She stopped so suddenly that the leash nearly slipped from my hand. One second we were walking past the dumpsters behind a small grocery store in Boone, North Carolina, and the next my white Labrador, Willow, was pulling me toward a torn cardboard box like nothing else in the world mattered. I'm Nathan, and I've seen this dog stay calm through thunderstorms and fireworks, but I had never felt her tremble like that. Willow pressed her nose into the box and let out a soft, broken sound, not a bark, not a whine, but something closer to a plea. Inside were two abandoned puppies, shepherd mixes, soaked from the night rain and far too quiet for how young they were. One lifted his head and tried to lick Willow's muzzle. The other barely moved. Willow curled her body around the box, shielding them from the cold, from the world, even from me. I tugged the leash gently. She wouldn't move, not one step. At home, 7 newborn Labrador puppies were waiting for her. But Willow stood frozen, staring at these two strangers like she had known them forever. Then it hit me, she had lost one of her own puppies not long ago. Maybe that loss was still living in her. "I'll help them," I whispered. "I promise." Only then did she let me lift the box. She stayed glued to my leg all the way home, checking every breath those tiny bodies took. I dropped Willow off with her puppies and drove the box to the clinic. It felt wrong leaving her behind, but I told myself I was doing the responsible thing. At the clinic, the staff took the puppies and explained their condition. One was strong and alert. The other had a weak heart and needed monitoring. I signed the forms, handed them over, and walked back to my truck with empty arms and a heavy chest. Willow knew the moment I came home. She searched my hands, my sleeves, the truck, the porch, then walked past me without looking back. In the whelping box, she fed her 7 puppies, then lifted her head and stared at the door. She counted noses, paused, and hovered over a space that wasn't there. The next day, she wouldn't eat. By the second evening, her bowl was still full, and her eyes never left the window. That's when I called the clinic. They told me the stronger puppy was doing well. The weaker one was still struggling. I picked up the stronger pup and brought him home, wrapped in Willow's old blanket. She accepted him immediately, pulling him close and finally eating again, but even then, she returned to the door, waiting. Something was still missing. The next morning I called the clinic again and asked the question I've been avoiding. "If he has to keep fighting," I said, "I don't want him to do it alone." They warned me. The puppy's heart was fragile. Stress mattered. Care would be constant. I went anyway. When I carried the smaller puppy into the house, Willow stopped breathing for a moment. She pressed her nose to his chest, listened, then made the softest sound I'd ever heard. The puppy relaxed instantly, his breathing slowing against her fur. Willow rearranged the whelping box, gently making space just for him. I named him Theo. Weeks passed. The house filled with noise and movement. The Labrador puppies grew strong. The other rescued puppy chased everything that moved. Theo followed, always a step behind. Willow never let him push too hard. When he tired, she blocked the others. When his breathing faltered, she brought him back to her chest. She wasn't overprotective, she was precise. Families came, one by one, to adopt the puppies. Each goodbye was gentle and sure. By the end, only Willow and Theo remained. The house was quieter, but complete. Theo still had a fragile heart. Willow still checked his breathing before she slept. And I finally understood what she'd known from the beginning. Some dogs don't just rescue puppies. They choose them.